Good morning. Top of the morning to ya. Happy Thursday, y'all. Make sure we get the sound off on the monitor. Oh, goodness. Happy Thursday. What is going on? Hope y'all are having a wonderful week. And I tell you what, got some fun stuff to practice today. Obviously the huge that we've been working on, tuba concerto, cello suite, but also kind of been thinking about this. I was listening to a few more of the cello suites last night, and as it turns out, the Courante from the first sonata, Bach cello suites, is like really good, and I think that would be really fun to play. So I am going to grab that real quick. And while we're doing that, let's go ahead and get timer yonder started. Maybe do some quick warm-ups while we get this whole Courante, not the Sarabande. Here we go. Have I saved this? I must have saved this. Maxime Alphonse. Ooh, Mozart horn duets? Yo, I forgot all about this. I remember some of these being really cool. Oh my god, stop putting your AI bullshit onto my Adobe. Ah! Whatever. Yeah, it doesn't print right from here. Ah! So I need to save it. Okay, whatever. We'll do that when we're doing that. We'll do that when we're doing that. When we have some time for it. Warm-ups. Further, continuing. What's a good warm-up? Probably some flexies. I've done tubas. You know what? We should do the harp. We should do some high stuff because this playing will be like lower. And actually, for that, maybe we'll do the alto trombone concerto because my lip is like not 100% better, but well enough to where I don't have to consider it when I'm playing anymore. So we can actually play high stuff. So we might do the alto trombone concerto, now that I think about it. So if we're going to do high stuff, we should do the harp flexies, lip trills, and then we'll work on this. And then maybe do some cello suites after. That sounds like a plan. That's getting high, and it's tricky because I try and do each series just in one breath. Whew. Which is difficult. This shit ain't easy. But that's why we do it. Remember, chat, the law of adaptation. What is difficult today, if you push yourself a little bit, becomes easier tomorrow. Last one. Okay. Whew. Not bad. Not bad for a warm-up. And now, let's do some lip-in trillers. Hell yeah. Yo, what's up, Raycon? Apologies for if I pronounced that incorrectly. Good to see you. There's one for you too. Hope you're having a good day. We're gonna do some lip trill stuff. I'm working on my embouchure down low. I feel like I'm ironing out my different settings, my high and low settings. I'll probably talk about that later on, but like it's playing up on my low setting and playing down on my high setting so that I can like maneuver throughout the break register a little bit easier than maybe it has been. So anyways, let's see if we can trill. Excuse me. It felt like it was trying to pop at a half step. It was like it was going up to a half step and then not like actually going to the next partial, which is a whole step. It seemed like it was trying to do a half step trill from C to C sharp on the staff, which is like weird and not at all what it was supposed to do. I don't know. I had it for a second before I started thinking about it too much. do still have to consider the little bite on my upper lip, but not because it's like hurting, but because it's still, I guess, technically a scab. And whenever it rests against my front teeth here, my front tooth, it doesn't like adhere, but it feels like when it's just my lip skin, my inner lip against my teeth, it doesn't like stick. But I think because it's a scab, it is like still sticking. I don't know. It's weird. You know? Not to toot my own horn or nothing. Knee slapper. But that sounded pretty good. That's kind of there too. That's like less so, I think. It's a bit more inconsistent. A little less consistent is probably how a human would say that. But like, you know, it feels good today, y'all. Less good. So B flat, A work well. A flat is not as good. That's interesting. I wonder why. Just getting stuck. And that one kind of felt like the best of them all, which is weird. Usually the G and G flat series, the 1 and 3, 1, 2, and 3, trills on those are usually just like, I don't want to say filler, but kind of filler, because they're not really, I guess they're practically useful if you are playing something that needs a trill down there, but I usually don't do them with the intent, with the express written consent of the National Football League, right? But with the express intention to like trill on them. It's just like an exercise, but that actually sounded like a trill. Also, we're dropping internet again, so that's really shit. Nothing has changed. It was doing great for 15 minutes, and now apparently we're stupid, so apologies. That really sucks. Anyways, let's look at this concerto for alto trombone. Maybe we can get through the first movement today. I don't think I've read through the entire first movement. There is a cadenza. We'll have to contend with the cadenza. And maybe write something. I should have something just like prepared, at least a little bit for just running through, but we'll see. Let's see how it goes. That's that's at the very end of the movement. Let's not count our chickens before they've whatever. Might need a little bit of valve oil too, just while we're thinking about it. Just a skosh. Some of this does have not like fast fingerings or anything. It's not a particularly fast piece actually. Quarter note is like 70 or something, and it's 16th notes at 70. So it's, you know, it's not slow, but it's not like, it's not that strenuous from a finger dexterity standpoint. It goes up to 16th note triplets, and there are a few 30 seconds here and there, but they're like, but it's not even like fast of them. You'll hear it. So it's not like that fingerly challenging necessarily, but they still do need to move quickly and accurately. Okay, let's see. Dropping damn near every single frame. Oh, this is bad. What is wrong with you, Twitch? I'm assuming it's Twitch. Yeah, Twitch might just be a little stupid. YouTube also appears to be a little stupid, so it might just be an internet thing. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know why this is happening. It's hardwired in to my modem router. It's just deciding to be garbage. Anyways, we'll move past it. Actually, it's a rare day when I have to oil my third slide, or third trigger. That's not all too bad, you know? I wonder again, like, because every audition that you ever take says Mozart or Strauss, and that's what you do. I wonder if this might be, you know, not like a replacement, but if there's a if I were ever to take an audition where it says select two styles of pieces of contrasting style, well, boy howdy, this one and the tuba concerto are two drastically different styles. This alto trombone concerto is actually like a decently high piece. It doesn't stray from like an octave and a half range between the D at the bottom of the staff up to a G on top of the staff. Is that the only, that seems like the only range that it has. It's not particularly rangy, but it spends quite a bit of time up there. And the trills, the quick trills, y'all. Difficult. That's all kinds of fucked. All right. Also not too bad. And that, ladies and gentlemen of chat, that's kind of the first page. There's only about an entire page left of the first movement, and it's not like not that strenuous, I don't think. Definitely readable. Let's see. I should. You are trigger open on both of those, because I always get that it feels like it should be but it's actually ba. That's really annoying. There we go. Okay. Now we are solidly second page territory. Holy. And you see what I mean? It's not like a fast piece. Like all the those are 16th notes. Those are the 16ths. That's how slow this is. It's da 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 3 and 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. You know, if you listen to a recording of this, at least the recordings that I've listened to, that's roughly about the tempo it's taken. So I don't know, but it's fun and it sounds good. I enjoy this piece. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E da 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 da. Okay, hold on. Oh, that's a tricky. So there's why you do practice your trills on 1 and 3, because right there is a trill that we're going to have to do on 1 and 3. Ah, I hate it. Fuck. There's even one. on an F. Even lower than that. And that, I don't know if it's possible to lip that one. We're about to consult our cheat sheet, Horn Bible. Get this book if you play horn. Thank me later. Lip trills. So from an F. Oh, an F you could do seventh partial on 1 and 3 as well. So that's both. It's all just trills on 1 and 3 all the way down. Oh my God. Actually, that kind of sounds like a trill. Yo, be honest with me, chat. Does that sound like it's intentionally like a trill, or does it sound like a cracked note? And not cracked in a good way. That's it. That's it. Yo, Travers there. What's going on, dude? Good to see ya. Hope you're doing well. We're working out a concerto for alto trombone, which it's a great piece by Johann Georg Albrechtsberger. In case if you're familiar, this is the piece. There's an arrangement for horn, and it's pretty fun. It's not like that difficult or anything, but since it's a 3-movement piece that I would actually be able to play, I'm trying to run through all 3 movements such that I'll be able to use it in a recital. So that's kind of the goal there. Do you feel improvement in your playing? Almost on a daily basis, really. Yeah, kind of a lot. Today, for example, this piece in particular that we're working out has a lot of trills and a lot of like really quick trills. So for example, here, can't see it. So here, bum ba bam bum bum. That's a half step, so I would finger that one. But this one, bum bum bam. That's a lip trill, very fast. There's also down here. There's trills from an A. There's a trill on this other page from a G, from an F, like low lip trills. And some of them actually have sounded today where they have not pretty much ever before. So there's always like something, if I'm mindful and pay attention to my practice, that I can be like, dang, that's actually like working today. That seems to be a marked improvement today over yesterday. And for today, at least, it seems like the trills are kind of responding. So yeah, it's all about if you perceive your practice and you're honest with yourself. Yesterday my X was shit. Today my X is like kind of working. You gotta be honest with yourself about what is weak and what is improving, that sort of thing. Do I use a metronome? I do. Not always, not as much as I should, but I do. I have a metronome on the computer that I can tap in at any time, and then I've also got this guy. It's a tuner metronome sound generator, sound analyzer kind of a thing. So whenever I when I'm done like reading this piece, because right now I'm still reading and piecing my way through it, but when I get it to like performance standard, I will start a metronome and keep it in time, because that is something that I'm pretty weak about. The Strauss concerto, for example, I was dropping like 20 clicks in the mid development, and then at the very end towards the climax, I ended up speeding up by about a different 20 clicks on top of what I had already slowed down. So it's a whole thing, but yes, and I highly recommend the use of a metronome for anyone, for y'all out there. It's really great for when you're trying to keep things in time. I learned using a metronome while sight reading is actually not beneficial. That's been my experience as well, especially like sight reading or just like reading. Like this isn't a sight reading piece for me, but it's not one that I've worked out quite as much as some of the others, so it's still in the reading phase. And if I had a metronome right now, it would just it would move on, and I would be stumbling about trying to read this thing. But you do have to, because you have to develop your internal clock. That's a great point. That's a great point. That's why for me, whenever I'm like not reading and I'm actually performing, I will do a metronome to keep the piece moving as it should. But reading it through, it's kind of like whatever. Yo, Imdor. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're having a good day. That's one of those quick little trills there. So I should mark down this should be 1, 3. Yes. Oh, my nose itches. That's not bad for doing a trill in context on a note that I never trill. So it's 1 E and a 2 E and a... Okay, hold on. This I don't know. How would you trill an F? Oh yeah, it's also 1 and 3. So it's a 7th partial, not an 8th partial. 1 and 3. We'll see, man. I don't know about that one, because that's not one I ever have practiced, I think, ever in my life. think it should all be on the trigger, on the B flat side. Makes it probably a little easier for these fingerings. Maybe I don't have to lip that one. Maybe that one can be fingered. Okay. And then bum 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 yeah. So just gotta figure it out. We're now on the last 2 lines of the first movement plus a cadenza, which is, you know, TBD, but regardless. Yo, good morning, Tapioca. What's good, my friend? Cheers. I'll drink to that. Hope you're doing well. We're finishing up this alto trombone concerto. And it's coming along. We almost have the first movement read. And then we'll polish a little bit, and then we'll... Shoot, we might even move on to the second movement. I don't know. We're being crazy today. It's a really fun piece. Hope you're having a good week, dude. That's better. Just remember the difference in our time zones. What is our difference? I actually don't remember because it's still morning here too. For about 15 minutes before we officially break into noon and afternoon. But good morning still works. And even, you know, honestly, I'm not too much of a stickler between particular colloquialisms, especially time-based ones. I don't know what time it is most of the time. I'm just I wish you a good day, good morning, regardless of the actual time, and if you wish me the same, then you know, regardless of the actual time, I appreciate, you know. 2 hours behind. Okay, cool, very cool. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Still solidly in your morning, and I hope it's a good one. Dude, I baked a loaf of bread yesterday that's ugly as sin because I basically screwed it up. But it expanded way too much over the top and it's like ripped on the side, whatever. So I sliced it up this morning and oh my god, it might actually be the tastiest loaf of bread I've made. It's ugly and, you know, not picturesque, and it actually looks like it's got like a mushroom top, essentially. Muffin top, mushroom top, I don't know. But it's delicious. Oh, that was my breakfast this morning. And buddy, let me tell you, with a nice little green tea, squeeze a lemon. Oh, feels good, man. Yo, Henry, what is going on? Good to see you as well. Hope you're doing well, having a good week. I love fresh bread regardless. Dude, that's been like one of the biggest game changers to my overall like happiness over the past couple of months is I've been making my own sandwich loaves, essentially. Once, maybe twice a week, depending on the week in question, but oh, it's so good, dude. It's and it's an easy freaking recipe. I'll have to share it in the Discord because I just basically get it from King Arthur Baking. They have a really great YouTube channel. And that's where I get all my bread, anythings, and it's like it's piss easy, dude. Like you just a couple of flours, butter, honey, yeast, salt, mix it up, let it sit, bake it up, and it's delicious. So nothing all too special. Now I add like flax seeds, chia seeds. I'll add an egg every now and again. You know, just riff on it. But maybe over the last 10-ish minutes of baking, I'll pull it out and put a stick of butter over the top, just run it over the top and sort of glaze it and let it bake in to the crust. Oh my god. Dude, you definitely got to check that out. And I'll try and remember to put, I have so many things that I need to put in the Discord. I still haven't uploaded the picture of Taco Tuesday into the Discord. Now it's Thursday, which isn't even a taco day. But yes, highly recommended. All right, let's see where we were at the end here. Let's back up a little and get into the end. So like. That's tough. immediately forget this. Yo, Empire. What is good? Can you play Chardash? I don't think so. I love that piece, that tune. I'm trying to remember because there's a recording of Eric Rusk, I believe, that I've heard do that, and then a couple of there's a strings trio called Time for Three, and they do a really good version of Chardash, but I've never actually tried to play it. The cute stray cat who comes over to eat every single night to eat food got chased away. Is it possible to like get a stray cat vaccinated? I think so. The only thing is, I think you'd have to like take it. You'd have to capture it and then take it to a vet. But like when I was growing up, we lived on a dirt road out in the country, and we had we had at least 2 stray cats, pregnant stray cats, end up on our property, and we took them into the vet to get, make sure they had their shots, and after that were fixed, and all that mess. But yeah, you can, as far as I'm aware, your location may be different from mine, but we could just bring them in to get vaccinated. And there's also, like, again, US based, but the Humane Society and I think ASPCA, and there are some organizations, nonprofits, that will do like spaying, neutering, vaccinations, things like that for strays or what have you. But I want to learn to sing to sound like a 70s surfer boy. Hang 10, Surfing USA, That's a pretty good one. You could just be like the Beach Boys. Ba 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 baran. Ba 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 baran. Take my hand. Mix of 70s surfer boy and Shakespeare. Okay. All right. So it'd be like so tubular to champion the surfs. Indubitably. That would be a really interesting. That would be hilarious, dude. I really like that. I think you should develop that, like, more of those. Tubular to champion the surfs is really good. I need more of those. I need more of those to steal and use in my everyday vernacular. That's really funny. Indubitably, dude. Totally radical, and I'm trying to. It's like, hark, upon what beach does yonder wave break, dude? Like, oh man, I'm trying to. I can't. Now that I'm thinking, like, I can't pick a Shakespeare quote out of a lineup. So, like, okay, to surf or not to surf? That is the query, You're so ungent Luddite? That could work. There's something there. It's good stuff. Pungent. A pungent Luddite. I was gonna say I don't quite remember ungent, but prithee, begone from me, you charlatan. I really like the surfer dude who's just discovered Shakespearean English. That's a really good one. 1, 2. Maybe I don't trill there. Since you're situated in the United Kingdom of America. That's close enough. Mind teaching me some surfer colloquial speech that would be tubular? So like tubular, you got tubular down. There's radical. There's like far out. It's like wicked, bro. Like it's, oh my god, can you believe the waves were so choice? You know, bro. But let me tell you, when it started raining, that was bogus. That was not tubular, right? The lass yonder with fine complexion doth be rad. let me hearken to your oh shit. Let me hearken to your far out speech ways, man. Like I feel like I'm blending surfer with like stoner. And I don't know if there's a good delineation between the two. Oh my goodness, y'all are crazy. Two, three. I was just trying to do the octave above that, not actually go all the way down there. Wilt thou allow but I to slide into thine DMs? Hey. Tubular far out, wicked rad, so choice, bogus. Am I permitted henceforth to be unraddened? No. Nay, my friend, you are from henceforth permitted to be super rad. You have been blessed by the patron saint of surfer lingo, which is not me. Yeah, no, you're all good. I'm messing with you as well. I like the United Kingdom of America. Like it's, you know, commentary. Actually, let's not get into it. But no, I was picking up what you were putting down. After I thought about it for a second, I was like, you actually know. Yes, I didn't pick up on that. I'm still trying to play music. At some point, I am trying to play music, but y'all are good. I wonder. From henceforth, United Kingdom of America, holy camel, tubular, and rad shall henceforth be slang we use on this here channel. Okay. I like that. I'm into it. I'm into it. Less so the UK of America, just because kind of it's getting too real. I might nix that, but holy camel, tubular, rad, bogus choice, and yes, I'm into it. When you hit 1,000 subs, can you please play Flight of the Bumblebee? Okay, so a couple assumptions being made there. One is that we will ever hit that milestone. I honestly am very doubtful. That would be great, but you know, it's not going to happen. Two, that means I would have to learn Flight of the Bumblebee, and that, I don't know. That might be beyond my skill for like a while. But then again, 1,000 subs is never going to happen. So sure, clip this. This will be my covenant with you, is that if we hit 1,000 subs on YouTube, not like Twitch subs, but YouTube subs, we'll try and do Flight of the Bumblebee. I don't know how well it'll work, but yes, that would be rad. Speaking of flight, oh dang, Flight of the Piazza. Yes, I did not. I had not. There were a bunch of suggestions, and I skipped that one, and that's my bad. Flight of the Piazza. Robert Sheldon, that's right. Yes. Now it's all coming back to me. I definitely need to. Thank you for the reminder. Appreciate it. Not that hard coming from someone who asked someone who knows how to play. Not that hard. Listen to, if you can find a copy of Frank Lloyd. I don't know why I have my sunglasses. Frank Lloyd doing Flight of the Bumblebee. That's tricky. That's difficult. He has an album. I forget what album it is, but he does Flight of the Bumblebee on it, and it's really good. Frank Lloyd, Frank Lloyd Wright, Horn Flight of the Bumblebee. Yeah, from his CD No Limits, 2016. Check that out. Thank you, Tapioca. I appreciate that. Yeah, hell yeah. I didn't even realize until after we turned it off and took a look, and it's like, holy shit. So with 300 subs on YouTube, first off, congratulations to all of you. Thank y'all for hanging out. But we should do like some kind of a celebration or event or something, and I have no idea. So any thoughts or suggestions are appreciated, because that should be something like that's a big milestone for a, you know, French horn streamer. I also want to, I don't know how much more I want to read today, but you know what? Actually, maybe we can do this with the metronome. Dum ba da da dum bum bum ba dum bum. Bum ba-dum ba-da-da-dum 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 bum bum bum. It's good. That's nice. I'm like playing on the offbeats for a second. 1. 1, 2, 3. Dadgum. Okay, hold on. Let's see. It would be quite tubular, henceforth deploy thy instruments into a concerto. Thou expects it shall be tubulareth to allow us to partake in the digital audience of a concerto. It would be quite tubular in shape and radical in state. I like that. Yeah, maybe. I have a I have a recording of one of the Strauss concerto I did at a recital. The only problem is that that's like really bad. Like I performed it badly, and the recording is not great quality. I have some others. The band director said he was going to put a link up and share it to the class of our concerts, and I have not seen those come through because I wanted to put those up and share those with y'all, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to because I don't have the things. What is up, Professor? Yo, good to see you, my friend. Do I watch any anime? Not actively. I have before a few. I really like Hunter x Hunter. One Punch Man seasons 1 and 2. I haven't really gone into 3. I'm trying to think. I grew up on Sailor Moon, like the old Sailor Moons. Yu Yu Hakusho, Tenchi Muyo, Rurouni Kenshin is a really good one. Inuyasha to a lesser extent. Never really got into JoJo or my youngest brother was really into Dandadan and I think Frieren for a little bit. Maybe My Hero Academia. Watch JoJo? No, I will not. Thank you. I've tried. It's just not. Doesn't resonate with me. And also, here's the like. Anime in general is not a genre I really love. It has to be kind of a specific one. For example, Hunter x Hunter. I will go back and I would love to do rewatches of those. I love the story, the world, and the whole nen system. I really like that. But I can't just like sit down to an anime and watch it and be like, okay, this is like I have to be in a mood for it and like try and I don't know. It's just it's not easy watching, I would say, because I don't watch them dubbed. I really like the subbed versions, so I have to kind of like be in focus mode, and that's very rare for me. Plus, I just don't have time to watch stuff. Usually, when I watch stuff, it's with my girlfriend in the evening, and we do. We're watching the George Lopez show at the moment, which is surprisingly good for a mid 2000s sitcom, early to mid 2000s sitcom. We're also watching a show called The Blacklist. James Spader and I think Megan Boone is the lead actress's name, but like honestly, I don't know of her in anything else. Mostly James Spader, to be honest, and it's just ridiculous and hilarious. Did I tell you about what instruments I want in my dream band? Is that the one with the oud and the ones that I don't remember the names of? Is a like I'm thinking Darumaka, but I know that's a Pokemon, and I know that's not right. We love Frieren. I've heard it's really good, and everything that I see on Reddit, it seems like it's a really good one. how far did I get into JoJo? Probably about half an hour into one episode, to be honest. But my younger siblings are like big into it, and have tried to like get me into it. And I've heard, I know the stands and the, I've seen clips and gifs and all this stuff. It's just I just don't think it's for me. What's up, Felicia? Finished all the AP exams. Congratulations. Now is there anything left between you and summer, or is it hot Felicia summer? I'm sorry, but who is we? Do you not love Freerin Empire? We being the collective royal we or something? I don't know. All right, I think that's about good on the trombone concerto. Let's try and do this tuba, because I feel like playing some low. School still, but we don't do anything. That's a good place to be. That was basically my junior and senior years of high school. I was mostly doing dual enrollment classes at the local community college, and so I was basically full-time in the college, and that term ended the beginning of May, whereas my high school got out like the first week of June. So basically I had 4 or 5 periods in the computer lab with literally no coursework to do, even if I wanted to. So I basically got GoldenEye, Smash 64, Mario Kart 64, Pokemon Stadium, ROMs, and emulated them in the computer lab. And, this was over 20 years ago, surely past the statute of limitations for anything, whatever. We don't condone any. I owned them all, and they were just digital copies of things that I owned. Anyways, but we had a good time. We had a good time in high school, I tell you. Only anime I've watched is Pokemon Sun and Moon. Oh, that's really cool. That's past where I stopped watching. I think I stopped watching Pokemon. I think I got into the Johto arc because it was like the original Kanto stuff, and then it was like the Orange Islands, and then it went to Johto, I think. And I think during the Johto arc was the last that I really like kept up with it. I'm pretty sure I didn't get into like the Ruby Sapphire arcs, the Gen 3 arcs. But Pokemon's a really good one. I loved watching Pokemon when I was a kid. The Poke Rap. If I could I could probably do a surprising amount of the Poke Rap now if I had help. But that's locked in there somewhere. Okay. Let me see. The dream band is marimba, Arabic percussion, the oud, and recorder. Oh, I got you. The recorder I was missing, and then marimba. What counts as Arabic percussion? Like, what sort of instruments does that entail? I'm assuming it's not just like snare drum, bass drum, cymbals, and all that. Are they hand drums or? Played our last youth orchestra concert today. Yo, for real? Congratulations. How did it go? One of my favorite animes is Hikaru no Go. That's not one that I've ever heard of, Professor. Hikaru, I know Hikaru Nakamura. Not personally, but I know of him. Part 1 is not it. You should at least get to part 2 and decide. I bet you won't regret. Maybe one of these days. The problem is that time is really at a premium. Like more than most other things. Like during the day, I'm either practicing horn or right now I'm building cabinets, renovating my house, other sorts of stuff where I'm not like sitting and just like watching stuff. And then in the evenings, like tonight, we're going to a Zumba class, which I forgot about. We're doing, just making dinner and hanging out and, watching George Lopez and other stuff. So it's my own personal watching time is very limited if it exists at all. But I believe you that it's good, and everything I've heard is that it's a good one, but it's just I don't know. It might not be for me. Arabic percussion, mainly the darbuka and Rick, and so that's what I was. The darbuka was what I was thinking of, not darumaka. Darbuka. Oh, that's really cool. Yo, look at goblet drum is sort of is another name for it. Look at this, you guys. Let me show y'all. These are gorgeous. Look at these. Yo. Absolutely phenomenal. So like Arabic things sort of like a djembe and an Arabic tambourine, but the tambourine is the star of Arabic percussion. It's not on the side. It's the most important. Tambourine, it's not on the side. It's the most important one. Yo. Tambourine, really. Oh, cool. I do see. It's got like... There's not many chimes along them either. There's like 5 of them. They're like in a star formation. That's really interesting. What's your idea of an Arabic marimba? Honestly, I would just think it's marimba played in a mode or a key that is emblematic of Arabic music. I honestly wouldn't think that there's a difference, like different instrument. I would just think it's played in a style, but I'm guessing that that's incorrect. All right, let's see. Dang, low is not... low range is a little weak at the moment. I feel like I should be using more air, so I'm going to use more air. Yes, it's marimba in Arabic styles, but how is that? Yeah, I honestly, I couldn't even venture a guess. I just know a marimba, but like played, not one that's like visually or constructed in a different way. Sent you something. I did see. Is that what it is? I will take a look at it off stream for sure. getting a xylophone and a tenor recorder. Dude, that's so hype! I'm so excited for you. Yes, I will. I have the notification on Discord here to check it out, and I will do that when I am done streaming and practicing. Ah, jeez, that wasn't very good. That's better. What brand is your microwave? That's actually a great question. I want to say General Electric. It's not currently installed because currently my range is not installed, and the cabinet that's going to be where it's going to be mounted is not installed. But yes, I think it's a GE set that I got. Yikes! 2 years ago that I still haven't put in because I needed to redo my kitchen before I could. So it's yeah, it's thrown on the pile. You know what I mean? Added to the list. That's the one that's going to be in there, but I actually do have one that is it's red, and I don't know what. Oh, excuse me. I don't know what brand it actually is, but it's red, and it was my mom's, and she doesn't use it anymore. I asked that ironically, and I got an unironic question. Dude, like, you ask me, and if it's fair game, I'll answer. I don't care. And it's because literally the microwave is in a box in this closet just right off the way, so it's literally right there. Is mostly why. But yeah, you never know what you're gonna get on the Pondbird streams, you know. Here we go. Not bad, honestly. How low can you get with that? So the lowest possible note that I've ever hit is an E1, which is a B down below the pedal register. It's an octave below that, and that was a very special case. Typically, the lowest that I can hit is a C sharp. No, it is a C sharp, my pitch, but it's concert F sharp or F1, and those are like very weak, very small. The lowest that I would play comfortably, like a comfortable playable range, is like. So it was B flat. B flat is this. That's A flat. The G is like usable, and then below that is kind of like weak. So a G2, I suppose. No, G1. And then up high, it's an F5 is the highest that I typically go. That's a C above the staff. So we'll see. We'll do a quick chromatic exercise, which is good to do after doing low stuff. Up there and about there. So it's about 5 octaves if I can get the low one and the high one all throughout there. It's pretty fun. I see so many memes of like average small talk. What brand is your microwave? Shows up a lot. Oh, I gotcha. So why not ask this red hornet and got a bogus answer? No, you got a choice answer. That answer was pretty tubular, if I had to say. Can you please sing I Want It That Way when you sing I Want It That Way when you hit 400 subs? Maybe. I don't know. That's a solid maybe. We'll see. Rate the existence of bassoonists. 15 out of 10. Donating blood. Woot! Hey, good job, Professor. We love that. Cheers, brother. That's that is What am I have the words, but I can't form the words right now. Oh my god. This is like one of the biggest brain farts. That is commendable. That is worthy of admiration. That's what I'm trying to say. Good job. Like, sincerely. That's fucking awesome, dude. I always see blood drives on the side of the road, like when I'm going places that I have places to be, and I'm like, I really should do that. And then I don't, it's out of sight, out of mind, you know? I drive by and immediately forget about that. Well, that's freaking awesome, dude. Good on you, making your community a better place. What gives Bassoonists 15 out of 10? Like, yeah, but what is the good about their existence? The good about their existence is that they're humans pursuing music. If you would have asked me a trumpet, I'd have said 15 out of 10. If you'd have asked me a tuba, or a trombone, or a French horn, or percussion, or an oud, or a daf, or a reek, or anything like that, I would say that's 15 out of 10. If you're trying to be like make music, that's 15 out of 10, my friend. That is the pinnacle of humanity. You know, creative endeavors are what separate us from, you know, the others of the animal kingdom. We have the capacity and the cognition to be able to say, this thing, for example, music, these sounds can be pretty, and I want to pursue a pretty musical sound. Or if someone is a chef, they can take things and create beautiful food. And if you know, build something, you know, you take raw materials and you say, hey, I can fashion these into something. And that's fucking, you know, I think that is beautiful and to be celebrated. It's like that We Rate Dogs, that old Twitter account that used to, it would just be pictures of dogs, and each one would be like, the bottom was 12 out of 10. Right? Which is true, because all dogs are at the very least 12 out of 10. That sort of thing, you know? No, you're good. You're good. The people pursuing bassoonists, or bassoonists pursuing music, I think are 15 out of 10. But if you meant like the instrument, I love the instrument as well. There's that's kind of the thing, is there's a context and a time and a place for every instrument, and I love hearing them, especially let me think, the Mahler 1/3 movement. I think, unless my memory is wrong, I think it's the strings that start it, but bassoon, maybe it's bass clarinet. Bassoon and bass clarinet, I think, are like early of the you know, that sort of dark and brooding foreboding, and they do really well with it. The timbre just lends itself so well. That low double reed, man. Now that you got me thinking about Mahler, I want to play some Mahler. Shit. Let's see. Well, whatever. But like, that was weird. I did a weird shift in my embouchure that worked for the first thing, but then on the repeated section I couldn't get out of it. That was weird. I'm gonna have to think on that. Since you're a hornet, do you mind wondering a question? Why is every horn got a name, but the only instrument that is named based off its country of origin is the French horn? All other horns have names. So that's actually, I don't really remember off the top of my head why it's called a French horn, because honestly, this model of horn is actually a German style horn. There's also, and I gave it away, spoilers, but there is also the English horn, which is it's a double reed instrument. It's kind of like a big oboe, between like oboe and, well, I guess just a little bit lower of an oboe. But that's an English horn as well. And I don't know why French horn is named as such. I just call it horn, honestly. And I think in other languages, it's called like trompa or corno. So it's just like horn or other sort of thing. So I think it's the German Hornen. Ja. Ja, das ist gut. Dance of the Nights by Prokofiev. I don't know that one. I don't know much Prokofiev, honestly. And what was it? Guten Tag. Guten Tag, guten Nacht, guten. Dance of the Nights. Let's see. Oh, is it from Romeo and Juliet? Whew. Yeah, okay, I would have to... Do you happen to know what act it's in? Excerpts. There's a violin excerpt in there. There's, I'm sorry to say, but the original orchestration doesn't even have horn. Flute, bassoon, trombone, 1, 2, 3, harp, violin, 1, 2, violoncello, basses. Oh, for orchestra. Here we go. Ha. Ich bin die Berliner. Is that true? How German can we get? Not, for me personally, not very. Here we go. Horn and F for something. Arranged for 10 winds plus bass, not bass. Montagues and Capulets. Okay. Friar Lawrence. Okay. Tableau. Okay. Romeo at the Grave of Juliet. What? Wait, there's no Dance of the Nights. Would you rather play for band or for orchestra? It would have to be orchestra. Like, wind bands are fine, but like, here we go. First movement of Act 1, number 13. So that might be difficult because this is an arrangement, and I don't know if it is exactly like I'm looking through, and it's got, is it the Allegro Pesante? Probably not the Moderato Tranquillo. There's 2 Allegro Pesantes and an Andante, and the Montagues and Capulets. Yeah, we might have to revisit that one, but I'm certainly into some ballets, operas, other sort of things. That's really something that I'm very interested in. What's the original name of the French horn? I think so. Originally, before it was an instrument, right? It was just like hunting horns, Viennese style, like circuit, like, and they didn't have vowels. They were just natural instruments, natural horns, what they were called. So they're pretty much just called horns. Maybe like hunting style horns. Maybe I want to say the Viennese horn is also a similar like. The Vienna horn. Yeah, it's the same sort of thing. A Vienna horn might have slight differences Colorful warm tone, primarily used by orchestras in Vienna. Distinguished by its 19th century design. It's double piston valves, that's why. The lead pipe is removable, which is the crook. A smaller bore. It's a double piston Vienna valve. Whoa, that's crazy. So it's like, so these are rotor valves, and just to see, because what happens is when you press the buttons down, it's rotary because it rotates, right? So the valve, it doesn't go up and down like, think of a trumpet, da 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 da, and it goes up and down. That's a piston valve. These are rotary valves, so they rotate, right? So they don't go up and down, they just rotate in their casings here. So my understanding of Viennese horn would be piston style, up and down, is what it looks like here versus rotary. And I wonder, oh yeah, that's true. Yo, check this out. Check this shit out, y'all. This right here, so you can see these are the valves, and the rotors, they'll go pop up, pop up, pop up, pop up, like up and down, pop up, pop up, pop up, as opposed to going circularly. That's really cool. Look at this. Pop up, pop up, pop up, pop up, pop up. Yeah. Wild. I would say we're up to hexagonal, but like, you know, your mileage may vary. But that's a really cool thing. I used to play trumpet, but the only song I can remember is the USSR national anthem. Holy cow. Holy cow. That's a deep cut. That hasn't been around since what, the 89? Is that right? 91? 92? Somewhere in there? Khrushchev, right? I don't know. I was barely even born. But that's really interesting. I don't even know if I could pick the Soviet national anthem out of a lineup. Probably not. Holy Camel, yeah, Holy Camel. Holy Camel, you're right. It was 91. Okay, I can never remember. It's one of those years. Okay, let's try this one more time while I'm thinking about it. While we still have the low set working a little. Not working as well as I thought it was. Done donating? Dude, that didn't take very long. Way to go, Professor. The one time I tried to donate in high school, it turns out I have like little baby bird veins or something, and it took me literally like 45 minutes to an hour, and I got very pale, and it was a whole thing. That's so heptagonal, dude. That's far too angular for me, dude. Heptagonal would be that's just a weird number of angles. I think you're onto something there. The word groovy, I believe, comes from the word groove. So like to groove is to like dance and move along, bop along, you know. We be grooving. And then if something makes you feel some sort of a way, you'd say that that thing would be groovy. You know? Little ba ba da ba ba. I'm very big on shoulders when I dance. Got some good shoulder moves, you know? Old hat donating. I've been donating since I was 16. Dude, good on you, man. I don't think I have since high school. I always mean to. I intend to. But like I'll see the blood drives and, you know, the big buses, the Life South buses, and I just never actually do. Groovy might even true. So vinyl record, that's how it creates sound, is in grooves in the record, and then the needle takes the grooves and amplifies it up through the right. So the groove in a record definitely could be. I think groovy was mostly like a 60s 70s thing, more 70s. I feel like it's more disco than like surfer rock 60s kind of stuff. What do you think, Professor? Is that like that's so groovy, so groovy? Yeah, that seems 70s to me. Granted, I wasn't there, but yeah, no. Yeah, definitely 70s. Was it Jazz Lager? I'm not sure I know that what that's referring to. Want to learn more disco slang? Well, dude, Boogie Nights, isn't that a disco film? That might give you a good head start. What else is disco slang? Other than just like, yeah, what is other disco slang? I can't think of it right now. That's how we do it. I have to get into my low set for the C sharp. There we go. Not bad. I should write that down. That's what I should do. So I don't forget. Low set there, and then that makes that much easier. I'm gonna boogie to this tubular, delightful, pleasurable, melodious song indeed. Surfing Disco Shakespeare, dude. That's you're on something. You're on something today, but man, I'm into it. What are your most common catchphrases? Greetings and farewells. What are my vocal stems right now? Greetings are just like yo, hey, howdy. I do like howdy. I like being a bit of a cowboy when I can. I just say greetings. My most favorite is you pungent Luddite. Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. Farewell, for sure, for sure. Yes. So, watashi, 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 what? I'm white, like very white. I think my mom has traced her side of the family up to like 1600s, 1600s, England and Ireland, and then came over to like the Carolinas around the 1600s ish, if I remember correctly. And my dad's side, yeah, so it just like white and American, like U.S. based for many generations, as far as I know. Yeah, maybe some like German in there some point, like, but it would be way far back or distant off to the side. I think mostly it's English, Irish, stuff like that. Let's see, farewell's good. I like just like bye or see ya or like catchphrases. What do I say a lot of? Adieu is a good one, but I can't pull it off. You know, I feel like I don't have the aura to pull off adieu, because you have to say it right, and I don't think mine is quite as good of pronunciation as it would need to be to pull that one off. I could do a bonjour, you know. I think bonjour. Pungent Luddite, dude. I've been saying pungent Luddite like every time it comes into chat. I've been saying it. What are you talking about? Woot, that's a good one. That's true, y'all. Yeah, I guess it is, because I don't consider y'all really like a colloquialism or a thing, but I guess it is, because you know, less so in Florida because it's just what everyone uses. But yeah, that is true. That is true, dude. I use dude a lot. Oh, like in real life, I don't know that that's me. You know, it's a bit verbose for most of like my things, but I tell you what I would use it for is when I drive and someone pulls out in front of me to go 5 miles an hour below where I was going. They're definitely being called a pungent Luddite. Knuckle breathing, knuckle dragging mouth breather, you know, fucking know nothing piece of garbage, whatever. It's, you know, we got a lot to choose from. Getting less and less Shakespearean as we go along. But okay. Actually, let me try this one more time with the low set thing before we completely move on and wrap up. Let's go and get there. So yes, maybe, but like here's the other thing, is I'm not just going to use it for the sake of using it. I do like to use things in the proper context, right? So, for example, if something were to happen on stream, and then you can be like, boom, bam, pungent Luddite, like that's a good one. But like right now, I'm not just going to be sitting here and be like, yo, Empire, you there are a pungent Luddite. You know, like I'm not just gonna just be random without context. You know, the hold up sport, the Penguin of Doom type shit. You know, but I love a good verbose insult. I love being able to like call upon my mastery of the English language, such as it is, and deliver a fatal blow from the top of the top rope. Hell in a Cell. Undertaker on the cage, slam down, and boom, gave him the bow type shit with my words. But it could have been worse. You could have been a slur. We do lots of slurs in this channel. For example, one of my favorite slurs. Still flat. Can't be serious. Oh, I am. I sure am. Shirley, you can't be serious. Oh, I am serious. And don't call me Shirley. Leslie Nielsen, classic comedy. Airplane, if you know, you know. 1981's 81, 84. One of the finest films ever, in my opinion, because it's PG rated and there's boobs. But y'all didn't hear it from me. Anyways, I gotta get out of here, y'all. That's a wrap. Cut. Because I gotta get lunch. I am starving, and then I got a lot of stuff to get done. Otherwise, so no, we're not. We're flirting. I mean, look, it's only flirting if I don't know. No, we're good. We're just all joking. It's all good. Don't worry about it, Empire. I'll tell you when you're older. That is one of my favorite jokes. So all right. We're gonna do. For those who don't know, the film Airplane. The main character, he's recapping his experiences during the war, right? And I forget which war. It might have been the Korean War, maybe Vietnam. One of the two. It doesn't really matter. But he says during the flashback, and it's like, and that's when I discovered I had a drinking problem. And he's got just a glass of water, and he's like, oh, damn, because he has a problem drinking, right? It's oh, I just can't do it. Oh no, that is a very, very good joke. And on that note, stay thirsty, my friends. Oh goodness, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Oh, it's been a joy as always, and I will see y'all tomorrow for practice, or next time, or whenever. Hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. We'll see you later. Don't flirt with me, Empire. I'm just playing. We'll see y'all. Bye.